What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're going to do the tier list for Spear of Your Doom on Lock and Load. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Lock and Load is where we capture 5 spots on the map called locks. To capture, both allies must have a guy on it until it turns green. If the enemy gets a lock until it turns red, it starts a timer bar that ticks until we get it back, and fills faster the more locks he has. If the bar hits full, we lose. Amon shoots you with Orbital Strike. Temporal Fields appear on the ground and freeze your guys if they wander in. A Purifier Beam spawns every 10 minutes and chases your guys and deals damage.
Okay, that's fine. So we have Twotuuu in the call for us today. Twotuuu, how are you?
Alright.
How do we rank the matters this week?
This mutation is really easy.
Oh yeah.
So basically, if you can do the mission with a smaller army, then you'll get a higher rank because you don't have to worry about the orbital strikes as much, and you won't have to worry about the beam as much, and you won't have to worry about the fields.
Yeah, similar for me. If you have to worry about the mutators, you're B. If you don't have to worry about them, you're A. If you're like, man, my ally's taking so long. I finished mission 5 hours ago. You're S. So let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
Abathur, he has a if you're not used to it, you might have a bit of trouble early on because you need 3 units in order to for the orbital strikes to start dropping. So you need like a roach or drone or something plus waste 2 toxic nests before you can actually do anything. Because if you dump like 5 toxic nests without realizing, then you're just gonna lose them all. However, the first wave that actually goes to your base is so late that you don't even need to rush a brutalist. You just need to eventually get one, and then eventually you want leviathans because they clear better than brutalists do.
Yeah,
I put Abathur in A.
Same. I put Abathur in A. He may have a little trouble trying to get a fast brutalist if you want to speed run, but usually it's your ally that gates your completion time, not your brutalist time. So you can just wait for the first wave. If that's an issue to you, then you can just get your brutalist, then get leviathans. Vipers will stop the enemy from shooting back. More leviathans will allow you to just clear the map because most enemies hard-hitting stuff hit ground, so the air stuff are relatively less hit. So he should be fine. A for me. Prestige-wise, no prestige is fine. If you want, you can also do second prestige. You could probably do third prestige if you really want to do it, but it's fine. A for Abathur, but we don't recommend third prestige. Alarak is B for me. He kind of has, it's the same issue as the lava burst. The mothership is a huge target, and you kind of have to completely disengage if you want to avoid the orbital strikes. A trick here is to let Amon target. So the way orbital strike works is Amon really sends all his orbital strikes to target the ground, and you can see where all of them are. And once Amon's laugh track stops, that's when he shoots. So you can just wait for all of them to target your mothership, and then once all of them are targeted, just move your mothership away, and then it'll dodge. So it'll make it easier to dodge because all the shots are concentrated in a single area, and that's the only area you have to avoid. But he has a little bit of an issue. He can't just teleport to where he doesn't have vision or something to teleport onto. And when the game gets later, he has a minor issue ping-ponging back and forth, especially because if you put on a pylon as your spotter pylon for your mothership, it'll just get zapped by the Purifier Beam. That's why I have him in B.
All right. I put him in A because he has a hero unit, and if you just use the mothership, actually, it's not that bad. You have to dodge stuff, yes. I guess it's kind of sucks that he has to dodge stuff, but if you're using all air, you can actually just do the trick that you just said, where you wait and then you
dodge
have all the destroyers click on one spot that's not where they're shooting, and then Alarak. And after the orbital strikes drop, it's just regular brutal for the next minute, and Alarak himself does tons of damage. So he can empower me and clear an entire area, plus the wave if it's coinciding with one. So yeah, it's P3, but like yeah, you pretty much and you have good mobility to clear other sides or like help your ally if necessary.
Do you just plan to fly back and forth when your ally spends his entire money trying to do the bonus objective?
It's like, I mean, I don't think it's fair to rate people based on ally incompetence.
Well, for me it is because I
Because
play the
like
solo queue.
you can, yeah, but that doesn't mean the commander is bad.
Well, for me, it's part of the game. Waiting on your ally is part of the game for me. I know it's not part
Yeah,
of the
but
game for you, but it is for me.
yeah, but then you can't say that he sucks because he can't survive 40 minutes because your ally doesn't do any, like he's not doing the objective. Because if your ally starts going after the side bases, is that really the commander's fault? It's like going after the bonus is one thing. You can just kill it.
Okay, can Alarak just destroy the bonus objective on his own without any problems at all?
Without like with just the hero unit or like as a commander?
With the units that you normally make for this mutation. So the mothership and
Why?
destroyers.
I don't see why not.
I had to ask because I normally don't do bonus objectives, so I honestly don't know. It's been a while since I last did the bonus on this mutation or in this map because like I generally prefer to just end the map before the 14-minute wave gets sent. So if it's not a problem, then I'm okay with A. So the strategy here changes from end the map quickly to destroy the bonus objective quickly so that your ally has no excuse for stalling. And I know it's not really a factor for, the way you play, but I play on the solo queue. So it is a factor for me. Anyway, you're saying it's not an issue?
I don't think so. You don't lose a lot, and you can just teleport if it's double wave. A double wave, you are on one side, you teleport back to the other side.
How do you teleport there? Back to your base, or do you put a
You teleport
pylon?
back to your base.
Okay, so teleport back to your base and then fly to where the second prong is hitting. All right, that's fair.
It's like, because they'll hit one of the close locks, and you're already near one of the far locks. If anything, you let Amon take the lock, then you kill them, and then you take it back.
Okay, if you say so. Let's put Alarak in A. If you want Shadow of Death here because you want the mothership, it's your early game anchor before Alarak even hits the field. Arcturus, where do you have him?
He can't put ESOs in the center to make this easy. However, he can put ESOs in his main. Of course, you don't even really need them. Just playing Merchant of Death and making a big bio army, you can kill a lot of things with no issue, and you can drop reinforcements like right where you are. I know that he has to dodge the orbital strikes, but even so, I didn't think it was that big of an issue. So because his firepower is so good that he can clear bases with just like a Dogs of War plus to tank, and then his the army goes in, and his P3's build up time is really short. He can get like a big army, powerful army pretty quickly. So I put him in A.
I think he cares about Orbital Strike, so I don't think I can put him in A. The Dogs of War, the Troopers, they all care about Orbital Strike. So I have him in B.
Well, you don't drop the Dogs of War until the Orbital Strike hits. They do get caught in Temporal Fields, I guess.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And they also run sometimes past the Purifier Beam, especially when it gets really annoying when the Purifier Beam starts camping the ramps and you can't really run back and forth. And as Arcturus, you don't really teleport your guys across ramps. You don't blink them across ramps. You have to walk them across ramps.
If you need to defend at home, you just drop troopers at home, and then you turn them into explodey guys, and then they'll kill the wave. or like they'll fight from the bunker, and then the bunker lasts a little longer, and then they die, and then they will get blown up. The enemies will get blown up. The reason what makes him different from other army commanders is that he clears so fast. Like, you don't need a huge army to destroy, and you also have the ESO option if you want, where you can contaminate strike a lot of places, or if you're on the left side, your ESOs on the left side can kill the attack wave that's going to come. If it's on the right side, you can kill the right side attack waves that are just sitting there. That's an option, so makes things a lot easier.
I don't know. Still seems like a lot of work to me. I'm not entirely convinced that he's A. I think he's closer to B. B is not bad. B is, fine. It's just not A. Because for me, A is someone who doesn't really have a lot of problems. Arcturus sounds like he has to work a lot to overcome the mutators. So I have him in B.
All right, but I guess if you want to take, it's up to you, the viewers, to take whose word. I don't think he's an A move commander. Like or this one, he can just A move, but sure. If anything, orbital strikes, if an orbital strike is going to land on you, you walk towards the enemy, they get blown up, and then your units get blown up, and then Amon gets blown up.
Kind of expensive though, isn't it?
I don't know. I did this on level 1 for everyone, and I don't have you don't have ESOs at level 1, so it's just running troopers.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if you're level 1, one of the challenges of lock and load is waiting on your ally. So like, what enemy comp did you fight?
I don't remember, but I don't remember. It's
I mean,
let's see.
If you're a Merchant of Death, level 1 doesn't really differ that much from level 50, aside from having top bars, aside from having, well, the red and the
Siege
green
of
guns.
Storms.
So Sky Toss.
I finished this in 19 minutes. Oh.
On your own, without.
Yeah. That's a pretty fast time for me.
Relatively fast.
19 minutes is really fast.
You know what? Let's put him in A for now, and then we'll decide later if he's closer to the A guys or the B guys. Artanis for me is B. Similar, well, not similar. Well, his usual issue is he's not very mobile. He has to walk through everything, and he doesn't destroy things fast enough to really outrun the Purifier Beam in a meaningful way. The Purifier Beam will always be chasing your army around, so that's gonna be annoying. And your army's so bulky, you can't really dodge the orbital strikes that well. You will be able to tank them. He's gonna be fine tanking them, but it's gonna make your force that much less tanky and able to mass up in the later game. That's why it's B for me. I mean, B's not bad, he's just not A.
All right, so his army is he requires an army, and his army needs to be really big before he can do any meaningful damage. And his top bars don't really clear areas. Solar kind of does, but then to get into position, you might get hit by orbital strikes before that. So it's like that makes things kind of crappy. You can drop Archon dudes, but then because you have if you have a random ally, you can't really sneak in from the back. You kind of just have to clear the map normally, and he's not really good at that. So I put him in B.
Okay. We want Archship Commandant here, the third prestige, so that you have Arconauts, and also you can use more frequent shield overcharges. Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka, he uses pack leaders, clears entire areas, and then for army, you either creeper host or you mutalisk. And yeah, so S.
Yeah, same. I have an S. He doesn't really have any problems here. In fact, he's usually the one waiting on his ally. That's why he's S for me. Phoenix, for me, is A. Doesn't have a lot of problems. He will get shot by orbital strikes, but Kaldal still does Kaldal's things. He can wipe out bases, and then for the air guys, he can use Talus. He can have Warbringer. He can have other champions. He can have the Phoenix suit. Just defend the other side of the map while you're busy clearing the side where your champions are. Shell farm, you can stay in your base. It's fine. They can just march, and they'll still be powerful by the time they reach the other side of the map. So he's A for me.
For this one, I also put an A, but I don't think P2 is good. I mean, you don't. Anytime your shell farm is all the way at your natural, you can clear all the close stuff, but anything that's farther, you're gonna spend a lot of time walking back. So babysitting a shell farm is actually probably more difficult than just massing carriers, or like making a army ball. So yeah, you can just teleport out whenever you feel like it's really like you're in a real danger. But yeah, if you're concerned about the orbital strikes, then you can use P2. It's fine. 6 dudes getting hit by orbital strikes doesn't really matter. I put Phoenix in A.
Okay, we agree then. So you're recommending the first prestige so that you have better Phoenix? Yes. I'm recommending the second one because I don't like thinking. Thinking seems really hard. Han and Horner, where do we have them?
Han and Horner, the Han units are really fragile.
Flimsy.
And then the Horner units take a long time to get online. So, and you really need an army before you can clear stuff, or you clear with strike fighters, but that takes a long time.
Takes a long while to get very hornery.
Yeah, to get to just like slowly poke away at stuff. That's also assuming you're not using the airstrikes on attack waves, which you should. So it's like if there aren't enough airstrikes to go around, P3 is not the answer to that. I put Han Horner in B.
By the way, guys, comment down below if you do watch this section of the video, the Hot and Horner section. I'm not actually sure how many guys stick around for the Hot and Horner section. I know a lot. I get a lot of comments for Abathur, for Zeratul, Zagara. Not a lot for Hot and Horner. Comment down below if you stick around for the Hot and Horner section. I also have Hot and Horner in B, by the way. Army's kind of flimsy. Takes a while. You can use airstrikes. You can use mag mines to defend. They don't really get shot at by the orbital strikes once they get deployed, so it's fine to just deploy them, especially if you're using the first prestige, because in the first prestige, even if you do get targeted by the orbital strike, they set so fast that the orbital strike basically never hits them. But anyway, yeah, kind of flimsy army. You still have to clean up, so that's why they're B for me instead of A. Prestige wise, want the first one, right? Chaotic power couple.
You can use 1 or 2. It doesn't matter that much.
You can use wing collimators. That's also fine. Okay, I guess that's fine. All right, Hot and Horner in B. Karax for me is A. Kind of weird. Because he's also an army-based commander, but he also has Spear of Adun. So, like, his Spear of Adun is better than Amon's Spear of Adun. Especially if you use the third prestige. Because you can just send your gateway army. You can just slowly mass carries if you want the second prestige. That also works just fine here, second prestige. You can just, use your carriers. If Phoenix carriers work, then Karax carrier should also work and be an A tier. So that's why he's A for me.
Yeah, same. It's mass carriers and clear the map easily. Plus, you have repair beam and stuff, so it's even better than Phoenix.
It's even better.
So,
all right.
I put Karax in A.
Just be careful of rallying your carriers when they get stuck in the temporal field. Might get annoying. But anyway, still A. There we go. Kerrigan, where do I have him?
Kerrigan, she clears the map so fast by herself. She doesn't, and then your ally can use the Omega Worms to capture locks. That's pretty much it. She can clear all the relevant areas by herself before 14 minutes.
Yes.
So if you have someone helping, you do it even faster. So I put her in S.
I also put Kerrigan in S. She's usually the one waiting on her ally on this map because she can just use Omega Worms to be everywhere she needs to be. And sometimes, maybe I saw incorrectly, but I think the Omega Worms also draw fire from the Orbital Strike, so that's an added benefit of just spamming Omega Worms everywhere. That's why she's S for me. Prestige-wise, I think any prestige will do, except the first one, because you do want Omega Worms, right?
Yeah.
Alright, Kerrigan and S. Nova for me, also S. You just use third prestige, sneak around, dropping the sneaky the sabotage drones, and then you can have your usual army. Since you're third prestige here, you can go for a mixture of tanks, Goliaths, Liberators, Ravens, Marines if you want, Ghosts if you want, if it's against Air Zerg, that'll work just fine. Or you can still do the usual first prestige, Liberators, Ravens, that'll still work fine. But I think third prestige works a little bit smoother here, since you can just destroy everything using the airstrikes and the sabotage drone, and then for the hybrids you just use Liberators. So that's why she's S for me.
Yeah, she's very easy with P3, and your army is a really small size, so it's just like 4 Liberators and a Raven behind it, and that's pretty much it. Very easy to dodge the Orbital Strikes, the beam, everything that's relevant. So S.
Alright. You can even use the airstrike or the airlift to force your ally to be at the lock if they're, unintentionally delaying. Unintentionally or intentionally. If it's intentionally, you teleport the Overlord so they can't F2 the Overlord away. Anyway, Raynor, where do we have him? Oh wait, yeah, third prestige.
Raynor.
Right.
Raynor, he needs an army. Bio means that you get to work earlier, but then you also have to spend a lot of time, or like you have to micro well to dodge orbital strikes. P3 air army is they dodge strikes better, but you have to spend a lot of time macroing. So either way, he's B.
He is B for me as well. You have to spend a lot. Yeah, like Twotuuu said, you have to spend a lot of time macroing. If you want to use a third prestige, you can just get your Hyperion to clear stuff while your battlecruiser fleet sits in your base, but that'll take a long time. Still, not bad. He's, fine, but fine. It's just B. That's why he's still B. Prestige-wise, you want the third one here?
You can use any.
Any?
But yeah.
Even the first one?
Yeah.
All right then. That's fine for me. Stet Boy for me, S, because he's Stet Boy, Super Gary. Zap zap. He clears the map on his own, and then his army is just there to keep the enemies in check while you're waiting for your ally to come to the locks and capture them. S tier.
Yeah, same. Super Gary is really strong. He does everything, and you can just teleport home or use Gary Zone if there's any trouble. One thing to note is that with Orbital Strike, your Stetellites will keep getting shut down. So
yeah,
it's really annoying.
When you're
then
fighting,
you're gonna want to save your Gary Zone or something for when the Orbital Strikes are about to hit, or you want to overcharge at least one Stellite so that you don't lose power.
Yeah, the overcharged Stellites are immune to damage, so if they're getting targeted by Orbital Strike, just use the overcharge to keep it alive, so your Gary can still move. But anyway, Gary S. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, he needs an army, but his army is really fast because it's just mass Diamondbacks and mass Diamondbacks with a few tanks. So if you want, you don't even need the tanks, but if you have them, your push will be a lot stronger. So Diamondbacks are so fast that if Orbital Strikes are about to hit you, you can just run in the opposite direction away from like just go back to your base, and you'll probably run to an area where there are no Orbital Strikes that will hit you.
And they're still shooting.
The Diamondbacks are so fast.
And Diamondbacks still shoot, and then will chase you. So you're still dealing damage.
Yeah, I put Stukov in A.
Same. I put Stukov in A for all the reasons he said. You can even use bunkers, which are slow, wouldn't be S, but they'll still work eventually.
You shouldn't.
And I mean, you'll get there eventually. Anyway, Stukov's still A. Swann, I put him in B. He's fine, but he's just kind of slow for my liking. You can get rates. They'll do the job just fine, but you have to watch out for temporal fields because that'll make it really annoying for them. Factories, I think, will get annoyed too much by the Purifier Beam, especially when they... Speaking of Purifier Beam, you can probably use a factory to bait a Purifier Beam into a big hexagon in the center of the map or something. Just make sure not to
Mm.
walk stuff near it to make it target something else. But yeah, he's kind of slow for me, so he's B.
So someone on my stream asked, why don't you trap the beam? And it's because you can't. If you try to trap the beam, your unit will get killed by orbital strikes or get caught in a temporal field and then die. So the factory, I think, will also get caught in a temporal field. And if it's not frozen, it'll be slowed and then it'll die. So it's really not worth trying to trap. I put him in A, but I didn't really consider the fact that he's actually pretty slow. Yeah, he is pretty slow. I would use P0 because concentrated beam is really good and you can destroy entire areas really quickly. You can save money on the turrets upgrades because you probably don't really need the upgrades. You're just going to make wraiths from the beginning. I can see him in B.
Yeah, I also see him in B. I put him there. I see him kind of in a similar spot to Raynor. They don't really have a massive problem. They're just really slow to get their their clearing power strong enough. I don't think he's that far away from Raynor. I think they're a stronger, weakened version of the same tier. That's why I have him in B. Do you still think he's A though?
Not really.
Not really.
He's really slow.
Yeah.
So
Okay, B is fine then. So you can use first prestige as I think, or second, or no prestige as Twotuuu thinks. They're both fine. Any prestige is fine. You're just a bit slower than usual. Not like Tychus though. Tychus just clears this like nothing happened, and you can dodge the orbital strike. You can tank the orbital strike. You with Lone Wolf, it's almost no difference. S tier. You're just waiting on your ally.
yeah, you can use any prestige. If you like to F2, then don't use P2 and you'll still just play normally. And if anything, and you really need to dodge the orbital strikes without going home, you just lift up.
Yeah.
You just lift up your outlaws in a medevac, wait till the orbital strikes actually fall, and then drop them. Yeah, so S.
Okay. S tier. Vorazun, B tier, army base commander, and the time stop does annoying things. You can't even camp the locks with cannons and cannons because the Purifier Beam will just eat them for breakfast. So B tier for me.
Yeah, Vorazun's pretty. This is not her. This is not her map. It's
No, it's
just
not.
not good for her. And she doesn't. If she doesn't, well, she has to use time stop to have some clearing power. But if you do, then you have to like
Defend
defend
the
the
locks.
locks, but you can't because
Purifier Beam.
you can't make cannons like you normally would. So it's really bad.
It's annoying.
So I put her in B.
Sorry, Vorazun. I really tried to think of a way to make you work, but Zagara. This is gonna be a controversial one because Zagara is an army base commander. She has to rally from her base, but I think she's still A because by the time the orbital strikes target your Bailings, the fight's over. The Bailings have already used themselves, and as long as you are dodging the temporal fields, your Bailings will be as effective, almost as if there is no mutation. And if there's no mutation, Bailings are really good. That's why I have them in A.
Yeah, I put Zagara in A because with P3, you're pretty much only using Zagara anyways for the first like 10 minutes. And when the enemies or when you have to push into more fortified bases, then you'll need the backup. And that's when you just like dodge the orbital strikes, then you go in afterwards.
All right. Oh, actually, yeah. You were supposed to. Zeratul, where do we have him?
Okay. Oh, Zeratul?
Yeah.
Oh, Zeratul, he can do everything by himself, so
S tier.
I put him in S.
Yeah, same. S tier for Zeratul as well. Did you use the second prestige or the third prestige?
Third one, because you don't really the map doesn't last long enough to make use of P2.
That's fair. All right, Zeratul in S tier. Okay. Just circling back, looking at the guys in A. Does Arcturus really belong there? Looking at the guys in A, I think he's closer to
I
B
think he
tier.
can.
Really? Because I guess he plays similar to Zagara. Except Zagara has, 3 units. And Zagara has a hero. So, like, doesn't that just make Zagara outright better than Arcturus?
Better, but he's not like
A
a
whole
whole
tier
tier
worse?
worse.
You know what? Fine. Let's just have Arcturus like the in between for A and B. So let's move on. Do we have a double S?
Not really.
Yeah, if I had a double S, there would be several. So who's best in S? Is that boy? Or Nova?
They're all so strong.
They're all so
Nova's at the
strong.
bottom.
Nova's at the bottom. Even when you can just tell your ally to get over here?
Yes. I don't factor that. So
That's sad. I guess when you play on your own, you don't really feel how huge it is to have your ally on the blocks when you need them. But anyway, it's fine. Still S. Who's top of A? Or top of S?
Tychus or Stetmann or Stetmann or Tychus.
I have Stetboy personally because, he's Stetboy.
I will put Tychus because Stetmann's Stetalites get turned off.
That's fair. Alright, let's put Tychus top of S. Then Stetboy.
Yeah. Then
Dehaka?
Zeratul.
Zeratul?
The spinning is really strong. The tornadoes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you can still have your army. For Dehaka, though, you can have your creeper hosts do their thing from the expansion.
Before Zeratul can do a lot more before Dehaka even gets enough creeper hosts.
That's fair. Alright, so it's Tychus, Stetboy, Zeratul, Dehaka, Kerrigan, Nova.
I would put Kerrigan above Dehaka.
Above Dehaka. Because of Mega Worms?
Not even that.
Immobilization
Kerrigan,
wave?
like P2 Kerrigan, just you play normally and the enemies aren't stronger, and you can hide an Omega Worm if it's raining. So it's like you don't
It's
have to
raining.
go back home.
If it's raining hot plasma, just hide the
And
Mega
also
Worm.
the Omega Worms kind of trap beams, so it like at least doesn't move towards your base.
That's pretty
It takes
neat.
longer before it gets there.
Yeah, it frees up your ally to do his thing, while where each worm absorbs 2,000 damage for the Purifier Beam. It's pretty big. All right, who's top of A?
Huh.
Karax, Purifier Beam, his own Spear of Doom.
If you're going even with P2, it's still slower than like Abathur. Is it though?
Abathur top of A?
No. If you're using P2 Phoenix, you get online so much faster than the other ones here.
Yes.
Oh, and Zagara. Well, Zagara has that thing. The later on.
I don't think it's that much. She's still an A. I don't think it's that much, but yes, she will have
I would put
the dodge.
Alarak at the bottom.
Alarak at the bottom. I would put Arcturus at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that, and then Alarak second last.
Okay. Stukov, third to the last. Because Diamondbacks are ground leaders. They just can't.
Yeah.
They can't just fly over when they're getting chased by Orbital Strikes. So Stukov third to the bottom.
That's true.
So the top 4 are Abathur, Fenix, Karax, Zagara. I'm okay with either one of them 4. I can see the case for either or for any of them 4.
I'll put Abathur 4th.
Abathur 4th because
really, like Leviathans take a while. Like you need to kill enough stuff to get biomass for 3 Leviathans, even if you only get 1 Brutalisk.
Yeah. The Immortals, if you get Immortals, they're pretty strong against your Brutalisks. That makes sense. Zagara, you have to watch out for Corsairs, I guess, and Temporal Fields.
You're making Scourge? I mean, if the enemy is air,
Yeah,
then
you
yeah,
have
but
to.
not really. If the enemy is ground, you don't.
Oh, yeah,
If the
true.
enemy is
Yeah, if the enemy's
air,
ground, you don't.
then maybe.
You do need Scourge. Yeah, if it's air. So
I guess in the end, it's still Karax because of the repair beam, then
yeah,
Phoenix,
and Repair Beam
then
and
Zagara.
Purifier Beam. And if you use the second prestige, you have Super Chrono, which helps your ally. And then Phoenix, then Zagara.
Yes.
Okay, so Karax, Phoenix, Zagara, Abathur, Stukov, Alarak, Arcturus. Okay. Bottom of B is Vorazun, right?
Yes. Bottom B is Vorazun.
Still B, still B. B is not bad. Some guys act like when the commander is B tier, they're like terrible, awful. No, guys, B is fine.
They only see it as like a relative to the others, and they don't see it as the scale that it's meant to be.
Right?
Which is B is like you can still carry. It's just like you do more than your share. You can do more than your half.
They're gonna see this. They're gonna see this tier list. See Zagara in A tier and go like, she's S tier because I won easily with her. I mean, you should.
You can definitely make imagine like a meme picture where Vorazun's in B, but what people see is she's in E.
Kind of. She's not bad. She's fine. Anyway, going back to topic. Who's top of B?
Swann.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah, Swann. Yeah. He's slow, but he gets the job done. And then Raynor, because
Then Raynor.
yeah, he's not really in danger. Like he can just park his entire army at home until it's time to capture a walk. Then if it's battle cruisers, you just if you're getting chased by orbital strikes, you just use afterburners, fly away, literally fly away. And then Artanis because he can tank the things, at least. Although Reapers can fly away too. Well, it's still one shot, they're dead. Artanis, at least you have the shield overcharge. Who do you have higher, Artanis or Hodenhorner?
Artanis.
Yeah, I think so too. Artanis over Hodenhorner. All right, so that's our tier list then.
You drop 5 Archons in an area, like especially the earlier locks, and it's just completely clear.
It's yours. It's just yours. Okay, so these are the commanders ranked. Okay, guys, watch Twotuu's channel. I will link it down below. See you guys next time. And remember, B tier is fine. B tier is not trash. Okay, B is fine. See you guys next time.